Welcome to Perfect Word Media. My name is J. Monroe Johnson, also known as Chief Monroe, as I am the Chief Executive Officer of Free and Clear Realty, an Alabama corporation that has been sabotaged for years by the Marshall County judges, Timothy Francis Riley and Mitch Floyd, Sheriff Phil Sims, and with our bankers, Chris Bailey, Liberty Bank president, former Cadence Bank of Gunnersville vice president, Margaret Lacey, we call her Memphis Marge, vice president of actually a $300 billion bank. You can Google the net worth of Huntington Bank. They just changed their name from Cadence Bank to Huntington Bank. $300 billion bank. Folks, that's $300,000 million. Yet they're very predatory in their lending. It's what's known as a loan shark. And in Marshall County, when you're $15 million prime commercial real property located less than 1 mile from this Guntersville, Alabama, USA super Walmart, our property is located at 10745 US Highway 431 South, Albertville, Alabama 35950, known commonly as the Monroe Compound. And when we were almost paid off on our $15 million prime commercial real property, we had paid on it for 25 years. We find out that 2 Marshall County judges, the Marshall County Sheriff, and 2 bankers, Liberty Bank President Chris Bailey, we call him Bad Banker Bailey, and former Cadence Bank, now known as Huntington Bank, former Vice President of the Gunnersville branch, Margaret Lacey. They all moved to steal our property by sabotaging us. They tried to silence us by falsely and viciously slandering us to turn the public against us. An old Ku Klux Klan trick, folks. They villainize, demonize, dehumanize their theft target. They want to make their theft target the bad guy, when actually they're all very ashamed of the fact that we stopped these same conniving, deadly thieves that are heavily armed. They create illegal judgments whereby they can then create an illegal order to confiscate, evacuate, and or foreclose on private property. A deadly theft ring of officials in Northeast Alabama, Marshall County, Alabama, USA. It's known as Meth Mountain. It was once known as Sand Mountain, and during the Civil War, it was known as Raccoon Mountain. Let's go back to Raccoon Mountain. Let's leave Meth Mountain. Let's leave Sand Mountain. Let's go back to Raccoon Mountain. These people have lost their minds. I ask that you contact the FBI. They have an 800 number. You can Google to find that. Also contact Congressman Robert Adderholt's office at the Gadsden, Alabama, USA division, and Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville's office in Huntsville, Alabama, USA. Contact those 3 agencies and request that at minimum Blood Judge Mitch Floyd, Satanic Sheriff Phil Sims, Mob Boss Albertville City Realtor Mayor Tracy Honey, Liberty Bank President Chris Bailey be placed on administrative leave as this American Alabama judicial abomination lawsuit makes its way through the American judicial system. Have at minimum, because Margaret Lacey's been fired over this, and Blood Judge Timothy Francis Riley has recently retired. So have Judge Floyd, Sheriff Sims, Mayor Honey, Bad Banker Bailey placed on administrative leave as this lawsuit makes its way through the American judicial system. Before they kill my mother, she's 86 years of age, and they've already killed my chief financial officer and spiritual grandpa, Roger Coit Chappell, AKA Brother Chappell. I'll now play the introduction music to 2001 Space Odyssey. It's the introduction music that Elvis Presley played at the beginning of all of his concerts during the 70s, and then I'll close the video. God save the United States. God save my mother, Eugenia. God save humanity from greed, violent, emotional, and financial theft. They steal people's peace to steal people's property. We ask that you put them all in prison. Again, the county judges, the sheriff, sabotaged us with our bankers to steal our $15 million promise to prime commercial real property, and for the Albertville City Mayor, Tracy Honey. And this is after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled unanimously to stop the same group of conniving land thieves in a $5 million frivolous lawsuit cash extortion scheme. Case number 1051726, Federal Credit Incorporated versus Greg Fuller. Actually, I'll now close with taps in memory of Brother Chappell's ultimate sacrifice. They killed Brother Chappell as he defended my mother and me and the United States Constitution. He begged for his life to Governor Kay Ivey's office twice and then mailed her a certified letter. She let them kill him. And he said, if we don't get some help,